Hey guys, welcome along to this video. This is my 10 points for, say, somebody coming into the game who's new, not particularly new to sim racing, but new to Assetto Corsa Competizione. So it was supposed to be on my first 5 helpful hints, but it sort of progressed with a few things added here, there and everywhere. So but these are my 10. It's not a sort of look into driving styles or pointers on driving and getting quick that way. It's just literally picking up the game, starting the game, regardless of whether you're on a steering wheel or a controller, and sort of getting a good leg up to get going. Obviously we all know about track medals, safety ratings and all the stats and everything else. So as I said, this is my sort of first 10 points that you can sort of do to get you up and running. So yeah, anyway, let's get into it. So number 1 is probably one of the most important parts of the game, and that's choosing a car that's correct for you. Now there is a wide variety of cars, GT3s and GT4s, but the main one you're probably going to go into first is a GT3. Now obviously different people, individuals have different brands they like, different cars they like, but obviously in essence all the cars handle different. Obviously going from front engine cars to rear engine cars, they all handle different. So it's going to be down to what you like, what you can get to grips with quite easily, to then sort of, like I said, speed up your progression into the game. So we'll have a sort of quick look through some of the cars that I would sort of point out as a good basis to start with. Obviously I run the BMW. The BMW I think is a fantastic starter car, go-to car. The handling is really good. It's usually pretty stable at most tracks. A lot of grip, as I said. It's front engine car, and it is a go-to car. Obviously before that would have been the Bentley, but obviously the 1.8 update that's come out has sort of messed about with a few things. Obviously I did change to the Beamer before the 1.8, as soon as the Beamer was released for the console. But again, another good shout is the Bentley. I would go with the 2018 one, not the 15. The 18 one is obviously more modern. It's a lot better. Again, it handles pretty good, not as good as the Beamer, but again front engined, and handling is pretty good. So I mean there's 2 from sort of my perspective to go for, but obviously there is still some cars that are good shouts. At the minute with this new update, the Porsche isn't as difficult to drive anymore. It's definitely it handles a lot better. There's it's you don't have to be as precise, obviously being rear engined. So again with the 1.8 it is a good shout, but again in essence it's all down to trying a few cars and seeing where you're at, basically. Obviously you're not gonna, well, I wouldn't have thought jump into a car and just hit the track and absolutely be phenomenally quick. So especially if you haven't played the game before, you're gonna be finding it, say some cars are a little bit twitchy, some cars aren't, some cars understeer, oversteer. Obviously we're not going to go into setups and stuff like that in depth. Obviously they will help, but in essence it's just picking a car, going, okay, I actually don't mind handling this, we can sort that out, we can tweak this, we can tweak that. And then the next thing from that is you have to be in that car for the long haul. You have to give that car time. As I said, highly doubt you're just going to jump in that car and just be on the pace straight away. It will take a while for you to sort of unlock more lap time from the actual car. Not so much to do with your driving or getting quicker and everything else, but obviously the car in general. I did with the Beamer when I first went into it. Obviously you could feel straight away that the handling was a lot better, it just gripped, but then you had to get the confidence to push the car more into the corners, out the corners, to use that grip to actually find the lap time, which it did take me a while to do. So yeah, but that's number one. Find a car that you're suited to and you like, and stick with it. Okay, so number two, correct wheel settings or controller settings. Obviously you can play on controller and you can also play on wheel, so this again you're going to have to tinker with. I'm on the CSL DD, so if anyone sort of stumbles across this video who's got the same setup as me, or wheelbase, there will be a link to my setup, settings for my wheelbase and in-game for the CSL DD, that you can jump on. Obviously I can't give any controller settings because it says I don't play this on controller, but I think if you search the internet you should be able to find a varied range of different controller settings for people that do play the game on controller. But as I said, I think this is an important one as well. You need to be comfortable with the driving feel, regardless, I said, controller or wheel, before you sort of kick on from that. You don't want anything in the back of your mind sort of sticking in. I don't like this, it doesn't feel right, and it's not necessarily then going to be the car. It could be, like I said, your wheel settings or controller settings. So as I said, that's number two. Get your correct wheel settings and or controller settings before you put time into the game, drive the cars, get used to the cars. Okay, number three is just a sort of bit of advice, not a main thing. If in the back of your mind you're worrying about how to set the car up before you sort of hit the track, I wouldn't worry about that. You've got more important things of sort of learning tracks, getting your track medals and SA ratings, and bits and pieces like that. So like I said, that car setups and stuff should be the sort of furthest thing from your mind until you've sort of ticked the boxes on everything else. So as I said, safe preset, I would use. You could try the aggressive preset, but yeah, the safe preset is always going to be sort of safe. And even say with that sort of goes hand in hand with testing the cars to find what car you like as well. Like I said, we can dial setups and get setups in a longer way down the line. Like I said, there's more important things that need to be done in the game to sort of speed your progression up, to get you up and running before sort of worrying about setups. But that's, like I said, that's my number three. Don't worry about setups, just use the safe or aggressive preset for now. So number four, once you've picked the car you like, you've got your wheel settings set up, you want to jump onto a track. Basically be any track, a track that you like. You'll go into this part. I would do practice. You could possibly try a hot lap mode. I wouldn't worry too much about weather and everything else. It should be clear anyway. The only thing I'd worry about would be, obviously I said, whether you're going to do practice or you're going to do hot lap, and I would set it to the evening, the night. But a simple reason is, if you do the track laps to get your track medals up, you only have to do 3 consecutive laps if it's in the night. They have to be 3 clean laps. If you, let's say you're on the 3rd lap, you've already got 2 track medals, you're looking for your 3rd track medal because you only need 3 to sort of complete each track, and you go wide or you dirty that lap, then you have to then redo the 3 laps. It has to be 3 consistent laps, 3 consistent clean laps. But as I said, if you do it in the night when it's dark, obviously when you've got your lights on, you only have to do 3 consecutive laps. If it's in the day, you have to do 4. So like I said, that would be my number 4, your track medals. That's what you want to do. As I said, practice mode or hot lap, make sure it's in the night, You're on your own on the track, and even just take it easy. Don't go sort of hell for leather around the track, because you risk then going wide, you risk dirtying the lap and it taking you longer to get your track medals up. Obviously track medals are an important part of the multiplayer. They're also an important part of if you do decide or go to any of the groups that are on Discord or Facebook or whatnot that race together. 9 times out of 10 you're going to need all your track medals for the race or track that they're racing on. We'll have a quick look. Obviously your stats, obviously not your stats, wrong one. Yeah, so obviously you can see my track rating. I think it's TR, track competence 99. So yeah, I have got everything. So yeah, you can see all the stars there. So as I said, you only need 3 to complete, but as I said again, I'll reiterate, do it in the night. You're only going to have to do 3 consecutive laps. Do it through the day, the daytime, you're going to have to do 4 laps. So it's going to sort of cut a little bit of time down. But as I said, you're going to need this if you're racing with other drivers in a sort of competitive environment, regardless of whether that's with a group of guys or is going to be, online multiplayer lobbies. So like I said, that's my 4th tip with track medals. Okay, so number 5. This will be getting your SA up. Which is your safety rating, which again is a big part of racing online, multiplayer lobbies, and also, as I said before, sort of Discord groups and stuff. They want to see that you're a competent driver. They want to see you're a safe driver, being around other drivers, other cars on the track. Now, running through the stats and stuff, obviously you would have done, hopefully, sort of followed my methods. Now you're up to sort of 5. You'd have followed the other 4. Doing your track medals, you'll start to see in the corner, right hand corner, your sort of ratings start to sort of change. It will tell you to sort of keep consistent and stuff like that before you sort of unlock your SA. So by now, like I said, hopefully you would have unlocked your safety rating 1, and that says you want to get this up as quick as possible. Now, the way I found, which is quite a good way, is you'll set up a race. It doesn't have to be a long race. Let's have a look through. So we'll set up a race, and even just sort of a 5-minute race, which is fine, which is not that time of day. Sorry, time of day. Obviously, you want it through the day. It doesn't matter. It's not your track medal, so it doesn't have to be the night. So like I said, 5. So go 5 minutes. You get a couple of laps. Multiplier doesn't matter. You want to be starting last, but you only want, say, 2 AI drivers, which is usually the sort of sweet spot with you. So you'll be starting position 3. So you'll be starting behind them. Skill wise, I would put it down because you want to be in control of where they are at all times, so to speak. You want to have the pace to catch them up, slow down, let them go. So we'll put them on 80. Obviously aggression is a big one as well. We want to sort of put that down because we don't want them ramming into you and stuff, because that's not going to help with your safety rating one bit. Obviously 1 make, which is fine. So we'll come out of there. Choose a track that you like. Choose a track that you're confident on. We'll go for Monza because it's an easy track. But what you want to do is you want to be fighting the other drivers throughout the sort of 5 minutes, but you also want to be as close as possible without contact. You want them to sort of overtake you, then you want to sort of overtake them. It's your safety rating is, in essence, for safety. It's how aware you are with other drivers around you. It's how as close you could be without contact. So it's safety. And I found that doing this and just, for sort of 5 minutes, you could do it 10 minutes, you could do it 20 minutes, you could do sort of, 10 laps. But as long as you stay, start the car, as long as you stay around them at all times, and as I say, it's be sort of almost sort of pretending to be fighting with them, but you know you've got the upper hand because you've got the pace over them. you will see your safety rating go up substantially every lap. I think I noticed when I was running an alt account and the safety rating was like 0, I'd sort of get 6 safety rating every lap. It was just, yeah, phenomenal. Obviously, the higher up you go, the less safety rating you get a lap, but it's one way to get your safety rating up. Yeah, really, really easy. So we'll simulate one lap and you'll sort of get the gist of what I mean. So you're sort of in a range, which is fine. You don't obviously want to go too close just yet, but you still want to be sort of, yeah, within a sort of second, I'd say. Accelerate away. So this is perfect. Obviously, you've got to bear in mind their stats are going to be low. So, like I said, I'm catching them up. But yeah, you just want to sort of feather off the throttle, stay behind you, just sort of mimicking close racing, but clean racing as well. So then, when you get the opportunity to go for a safe move, go for a safe move. The last thing you want to do is obviously, yeah, have an accident, have a collision with one of them, because yeah, it's not going to be good at the end of the day. You want to get your safety rating up, you don't want it going down. Like I said, I've caught them up, so you just want to sort of be, and yeah, maybe be sort of in the middle of them. Have them sort of, you've got one car behind, you've got one car in front. You might find that one of the cars will start pulling away. The AI seem sort of strange like that. They're never sort of around the same speed. But you, I mean, like this, you could get them at their nose to tail, so it's even better. So now I'm going to get a run. Or even say going beside like this, and say feathering the throttle, backing off a little bit. You're sort of mimicking that. Yeah, you're battling hard, you're battling close. It just, yeah, it seems to up you at the safety rating. Obviously, mine's not going to go up. I mean, obviously, I'm on 73, so it'll take a while for mine. But when you're just starting out and you haven't got a lot of safety rating, it does help. It really does. And just do this, yeah, for a couple of laps, just to get your safety. So yeah, mine flickered green, but obviously it won't go up. But yeah, so that's my tip. That's my tip for number 5, to get your safety rating up quicker, instead of just going sort of, or trying to go on online lobbies, which you're probably not going to be able to because you haven't got the safety rating there. But if you get it up to sort of 50 plus, then you're well on your way. But like I said, that's my number 5. But yeah, helping with getting your safety rating up as quick as possible. Okay, so my number 6 is getting rid of the racing line or braking line, or, well, it's both, isn't it? It's a racing and braking line. It helps you to tell you sort of where to brake. Now, my issue with that is, I'm sure it will tell you to brake at the wrong part of the track, basically, in my mind, too early, because some people can brake late, some people can brake early. I just think it's going to not help with the progression of getting quicker in the game. So we're going to do a test. Obviously, we've got the braking line on, and obviously I know Monza quite well. I've done a good few laps here, so I know pretty much where I can brake. Obviously, I know my tyres are a little bit cold, so the braking might just be a little bit out. But like I said, we're going to have a look. See, as far as positioning your car on the track, people should know that by now. Yeah, coming into corners and stuff like that. Obviously, by all means, keep it on for a while until you're sort of, yeah, up to speed with the game. So it's telling me to brake there as soon as it went red, and obviously, yeah, you can sort of see I'm nowhere near the corner. I want to be still hurtling down here. I want to still be on the brakes till about there, let go of the brakes, and I want to be turning in. So you're going to save yourself time at the end of the day. So we'll do it again, but I'm going to brake where I usually brake, obviously bearing in mind the tyres are cold. Once the tyres are actually fully up to temperature, you're going to be able to brake a little bit earlier anyway. Or sorry, a little bit later, not earlier. But like I said, we'll get the comparison, and then we'll do sort of 2 side-by-sides from a side view of the car to just show where I start to apply the brakes on both turns. There you go. That's, yeah. So I'm still on the brakes. I'm going to be sort of easing off the brakes and turning into the corner. So as you can see, there's a massive difference. And at the end of the day, that's going to be a massive difference in lap time as well. So as I said, guys, get rid of that racing line as soon as possible and just judge yourself. Do a few laps, get your tyres up to temperature, and then, yeah, just look for markers on the track, whether it be starter curbstones, whether it be marker boards, and sort of work out where to brake from that. And like I said, you will find lap time. So this is with braking line. Obviously with a replay you can't see the braking line, so you just have to trust me on this one, but this was braking as soon as the braking line started going red. You can see the 150 board a good way in the distance, I'd say, and you can just see my trace of I'm just starting to apply the brake. So if you sort of remember that, and then, yeah, we'll bring up the braking on where I feel or I know where I can brake the car to get the sort of best stopping distance, to get it as close to the T1 as possible. This is with or without the braking line, I should say. This is me braking where I feel comfortable that I'm going to then make T1 perfectly. As you can see, yes, it's not a massive difference. You can see I am closer to the 150 board, but even just sort of that, a few yards, makes a big difference in the grand scheme of obviously lap time. Couple of temps here, couple of temps there. I mean, if you could gain a couple of temps each corner on, say, a circuit that's got, say, 10 corners, I mean, that's a big chunk of lap time at the end of the day. So as I said, that's my number 6 racing line, or racing line / braking line. Yeah, get shot of it as quick as possible to sort of, yeah, gain lap time. So my number 7 would be compete against the AI, really, before you compete against real drivers in the game. If you've sort of played other sims and stuff and you've gone up against real world drivers, then fair enough. But if you haven't, and this is sort of your first sim, then yeah, I would sort of a bit of advice, just, yeah, race against the AI first. Also sort of find out where you're at to do with their aggression and obviously their skill level, and sort of tweak it so they're sort of around your level, and then you're going to have sort of, yeah, a lot closer racing, and in that way it'll sort of give you a leg up as to sort of what it's sort of going to be like with, say, online lobbies, racing against other actual proper real world people, because, yeah, it's always good to sort of get the experience, and the AI can be actually pretty aggressive as well if you sort of crank that bar up to 100, so you can sort of mimic a lot better sort of online races and stuff like that. Obviously I know you can't mimic sort of dive bombs and sort of blatantly taking you out as people sort of are aware of, but yeah, as I said, it's my number 7. Just, yeah, compete against the AI until you're confident enough that you feel you can go on and sort of race against actual, yeah, proper people. So like I said, yeah, that's my number 7. Okay, so number 8, it's not so much setups, not yet, it's very close, but yeah, tyre pressures and fuel. Now that you've sort of done everything else, you're confident enough, you've got your SAs, you've got your track ratings up and everything else, then I'd start to worry about your tyre pressures, because they are key. They're key to getting more grip. Obviously more grip equals better lap times, and also your fuel as well. You don't want to be over fueling the car, you don't want to be under fueling the car. There is 1 or 2 fuel calculators out there if you search on the web. If I get a chance, I will link to one that I use. I think it's a Coach Dave Academy fuel calculator, but please bear in mind, and this is, you'll probably see on my streams if you join my streams, especially with my competitive racing in championships, I always slightly overfuel the car. I never go with exactly what the fuel calculator will tell me, just as a sort of rule of thumb, because the bottom line is, at the end of the day, you don't want to be racing for a 60-minute race. You come to 5 minutes left of the race and say you're winning the race or you're in a good position, and you realise you're going to run out of fuel. I mean, you'll be absolutely gutted, putting all that time in and effort for practicing, time and effort for qualifying, all the way through the race, and then yeah, you run out of fuel. So I always, as a rule of thumb, I will always put in maybe 2, maybe even 3 laps worth of extra fuel. Yes, it's going to make the car a little bit heavier, but it's not going to affect your lap time that bad. And as I said, it's better to be safe than sorry at the end of the day. Better to have more fuel when you cross the line than no fuel, because you won't even cross the line. But as I said, that's my number 8. Yeah, get on top of your tyre pressures for the track temp, or the right track temp that you're on, and yeah, your fuel. So number 9, this is obviously sort of goes hand in hand with number 8, but yeah, I would probably do number 8 and get used to tyre pressures and the fuel. Then after that, I would go with your tunes. Now, I can't tune. I've always said it in my streams. Even in my Forza 7 days, I just struggled with tuning, setting the car up. Didn't understand it. Don't really have time now. What with doing this YouTube business, so to speak, and the streams and everything else. I just don't have time to do 20, 30, 50 laps around the track and tweak a tune. So I obviously go with paid tunes. Most people are aware of Coach Dave Academy. That's where I get mine. Never had an issue with them. Really good tunes. Obviously, back in the day when he first started, when I was on PC, I had to mainly up the aero because the car just didn't feel correct, or I couldn't handle the car. Maybe because my skill levels weren't as high as they are now. But now I can just jump straight into one of Coach Dave tunes. I mean, it could be that I've tailored my driving style to that tune itself, changed, like I said, my style to the tune. But as I said, I have no issues now. With Coach Dave tunes, they've helped me out no end. And a tune is a big part of the game. At the end of the day, it is well documented that having a perfected tune or a tune that you're comfortable with will find you lap time. So, as I said, this is my number 9. Sort of goes hand in hand with number 8. But yeah, number 9 is setups. Now you want to concentrate on setups once you've done sort of everything else. So, last but not least, number 10. Enjoy your racing. Enjoy the game. Enjoy being online with other drivers. Enjoy being in championships with other drivers. Just enjoy the game. I think that the last thing you want is to sort of come on all the hard work and effort and then just get annoyed with the game. It is easily done. It's probably why I've got a disclaimer in, especially to do with my live streams, that heat of the moment incidents and everything else, it can't be helped at the end of the day. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it as well. You do get the idiots that literally take you out on purpose. You're always going to get that. You're always going to get the toxic people online. This is why I say about right at the start of this top 10 is to do the AI, do it the AI way, because at least you're sort of in control of the game. You're in control of getting your safety rating up and everything else before you sort of let loose in the online public lobbies. Again, on the flip side of that, yes, I'm enjoying the public lobbies at the minute. I think you've just got to say to yourself, SA doesn't mean a lot once you get to a certain point, as long as you can get in these lobbies. And as I said, with the championship racing, you don't get that. I've always said it, with a decent group of guys, a decent team, you'll have a part where you can put in incident reports to the stewards, and it gets dealt with the right way, to be fair, not the wrong way like on public lobbies. But as I said, guys, that's my top 10. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give me a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subs. If we can get there, it'd be absolutely, like I said, fantastic if we could. But as I said, if you enjoyed this, great. Like I said, any comments welcome about what else you want to see, and I'll catch you all on the next live stream.